Okay, boys and girls, today we are going to go over and review the answers for yesterday's test. We are going to start by looking at this new strategy called Unreal. This is a reading strategy to help you understand what you're reading and to help you find those answers correctly. So the U stands for underline the title and predict. So here I know it doesn't say and predict, but I am adding that. So you're going to, before you even read the passage, you're going to take a guess, an educated guess on what you think that passage is going to be about. N stands for number the paragraphs. Sometimes we may accidentally skip paragraphs when we're reading. We want to make sure we don't do that. If the paragraphs are already numbered, you would just circle each number just to give yourself an idea of how many paragraphs you have to read. R stands for read the questions and the selection, not the answer choices. Okay? When you're reading your passage, you want to have in mind the questions that you're going to have to answer. That way, if you run across that answer, you can just quickly highlight it. And then when you get down to the answer choices, you already know the answer. So we want to go through and quickly read the questions before we read what it means by selection is the passage. So read the questions, then go back and read the passage. Eliminate wrong answers. So process of elimination. You want to cross off each answer choice that is not wrong. And then A stands for answer. And L, look back for evidence. This is the most important part right here. Look back for evidence. 1, where did I find my answers? You have to go back and highlight. So I know that we're virtual right now. Some of you guys are working at home. Some of you guys are still on the computer at school. So highlighting your answer may not be an option, or if you do highlight it, it's not going to stay highlighted. But what you can do is on a sheet of paper, you can quickly jot down some notes as to where you found that answer, or you can just do the highlight, and even if it doesn't stay highlighted, it's okay. You still went back and looked for your evidence. And then you want to double check to make sure, did I mark all of the correct answers? The L is most important because it's making sure that you went back and actually looked for your answer. You didn't just guess. So this will give you a better chance of getting a higher score and a better understanding of what you have read. So using our Unreal strategies, you would underline the title and predict Guile's at 14. What would you think that would be about? I would think that this would be about a person named Giles and what they experienced at 14 years old. So that would just be my prediction on what this passage would be about, or this poem. Next, N, number the paragraphs. So since this is a poem, these are stanzas. So this is stanza number 1, stanza number 2, and stanza number 3. Here, they did number the lines, but they only numbered by 5s. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I could go and number each line if I wanted to, or just go by each stanza. The R in Unreal stands for read the questions. So question number 1. The imagery and figurative language in the first stanza shows. And again, you're not reading the answer choices because you want these questions to stay in your mind. Question number 2. What does the metaphor in line 9 through 10 tell about Giles? 3. Why does the poet use the word sparkle in line 12? 4. In line 17, why does the poet refer to the house as Giles' kingdom? 5. In line 20 of the poem, what does the word unsteadily mean? 6. In lines 21 through 22, what can the reader conclude about Guile's current condition? And 7. What is the theme of the poem? Alrighty, so now we're going to go back and read the passage. Guile said 14. A tiger cat that once roamed free, he claimed the world that he could see. From high atop the tallest trees, on the rooftops in the breeze, where he'd look down on other males and spy fat mice and lizard tails, to bring back home as gifts to me, for me, his own special delivery. His once bright stripes of marmalade have softened and begun to fade. He does not know he is old, his eyes still sparkle orange and gold, to chase the shadows down the hall and streaks of light across the wall, to stand his ground and claim his place with younger cats that share his space. His kingdom is now inside my house, his fiercey enemy a catnip mouse. But he can leap and climb up still, though unsteadily, and just to the window sill, to sit and watch the birds fly by and catch them now in his mind's eye. Then curl right up into my lap or his blanket for a nap, to dream again of hunting days, of alley fights and tomcat ways. So we know that this is about a tiger cat. So we read the questions in the passage. So that's UNR. The next part of Unreal is the letter E. So we're going to go and eliminate wrong answers. So let's go to question number 1. The imagery and figurative language in stanza 1 shows. So remember, imagery allows you to create that mental image using your 5 senses. So what are they describing to you? What does it make you imagine? A, how Giles protected his owner. So let's go back to stanza 1. A tiger cat that once roamed free, he claimed the world that he could see from high atop the tallest trees or on the rooftops in the breeze, where he looked down on other males and spy fat mice and lizard tails, to bring back home as gifts for me his own special delivery. Never was the owner needing protection. So we know the A cannot be our answer, so we would mark that off. B. How Giles longed to be outdoors. Possibly. So we can leave that as a maybe, even if you want to put an M next to it for maybe. C. How Giles spent his time in the past. That is definitely a better answer choice than B, so we can mark off B. Or D. How Giles got along with his neighborhood cats. Stanza 1 is not talking about the neighborhood cats, so our answer here would be C. Number 2. What does the metaphor in lines 9 through 10 tell about Giles? So remember, a metaphor is whenever we are saying one thing is another. So let's look at lines 9 and 10. Which here, right above 10, we have 9. So line 9 reads, his once bright stripes of marmalade have softened and begun to fade. Some of you may know marmalade is like a jam or a jelly. It's a fruit preserve. So they're comparing his stripes to like a jelly, basically, like the color. And we can tell that by them saying that they began to fade. Let's go back to our answer choices. F, his taste in food is changing. No, it's not talking about his food, so we can mark off F. G, his fur is losing color and shine. That is definitely a possible answer choice. We don't want to just stop there. We want to look at all of the answer choices. So we can put an M for maybe. H, He seems less cheerful than he once was. They weren't talking about how cheerful he is, so we can cross that off. And J, he likes to keep himself more and more, which that also was not mentioned, so we can cross that off. Our answer here would be G. Number 3, why does the poet use the word sparkle in line 12? So let's go back and look at line 12, 10, 11, 12. To chase, 10, 11, 12. His eyes still sparkle orange gold. What is that onomatopoeia, sparkle? Why would the author use that? A, to show that Giles is still full of life. So if something sparkled, it's standing out. So that could definitely be a possible answer choice. So we'd say maybe. B, to show that Giles can still see well. His eyes sparkled isn't referring to his ability to see. So B would not be our answer. C, to show that Giles just awoke from a nap. No, it's not talking about a nap, so C would not be our answer choice. D, to show that Giles seems to be feeling sad. If something is sparkling or someone's eyes are sparkling, sad is definitely the opposite of that, so D is not our answer. So here we would circle A. Number 4, in line 17, why does the poet refer to the house as Giles' kingdom? So let's go back and look at line 17. His kingdom is now inside my house. And we can even look at 18. His fiercely enemy, a catnip mouse. So would it be F? She wants to make Giles feel important. Maybe. G, she believes that the house is as grand as a castle. No, we're not trying to focus on the house here. We're focusing on Giles, so G would not be the answer. H, she feels the house is too big for her, just herself and her cat. Again, we're not focusing on the house, so we know H cannot be our answer. And J, she notices that Giles seems to like thinking he is in charge. Our poem here isn't really telling us that Giles likes thinking he's in charge, and that line 17 is definitely not referring to him being in charge, so J is not our answer. So here we would circle F as our best answer choice. Number 5, in line 20 of the poem, what does the word unsteadily mean? So we know that the prefix un means not. So if we go back up to line 20. Though unsteadily and just to sit. So let's see, let's read 19. But he can leap and climb up still, though unsteadily and just to the windowsill. So it's telling us that he can leap, but he's unsteady. A, in a quiet manner. It's not really referring to how much noise he makes. It's not talking about his noise level, so A isn't the answer. B, in a worried manner. Not talking about emotions here, so X off B. C, in a way that is not stable or firm. We know that the prefix un means not. Stable means steady, so this could definitely be an answer choice. And then the suffix ly means in a way. So we put an M for maybe next to C. D, in a way that is not hurried or rushed. So again, steady does not mean hurried or rushed. So D is not our answer choice. So we would select C. Number 6, in lines 21 through 22, what can the reader conclude about Giles' current condition? So the word conclude means that it's like a conclusion in the end. What can you get from this? So the ending. So let's look at 21 through 22.